When the government, when Minister Ritz, I think, first made this announcement to changes to the wheat board and announced the date of the single desk, I think he based it on the notion that you farmers out there don't care. A lot of you feel that change is inevitable, and you'll just accept these suggestions that he's offered. I think this meeting tonight is a great expression that that's not true. Farmers do care about their organization. Just some final thoughts before you leave for home. If there's one word I think that best describes the situation we now find ourselves in, and that is uncertainty. There's uncertainty amongst farmers, amongst smaller players in the industry, amongst producer car shippers, short line operators, and even from our long-term customers. This is largely because we are dealing with an artificially short time frame of August 1st, 2012. Now there's no magic about that date. It was chosen, I believe, for purely political reasons. This government wants to make changes that it believes will be controversial or unpopular early in its mandate. And I think clearly that's the only reason why that date was chosen and why we're in the middle of such a short time frame. I guess in the midst of all of this uncertainty, though, there are some things that I believe that we know for sure. First of all, if the government chooses to move ahead with legislation as they have stated, the CWB as we know it will cease to exist, and it will be wound down. On whether or not a new entity is created will depend mainly on what assistance, if any, this government is willing to provide in terms of financing and access to facilities. But I can tell you this, if that new entity has to exist in a strictly commercial environment, it will not survive for long. Secondly, for those farmers who still believe that going forward we can have a CWB for those who want it, and others can simply go their own way, well, that is simply not possible. The so-called dual market does not exist, and the question on the ballot that we're asking is the right one. You can either have a single desk approach or an open market system. There is no middle ground here. All of the advantages which the single desk provides would be completely lost in a multiple seller environment. Third, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that the CWB and the single desk delivers real value for farmers. While some of us may argue over what that number actually is, it is certainly in the hundreds of millions of dollars each year, and collectively it is worth in the billions. And if you are one of those out there who doubt that this value actually exists, I want you to think of it in these terms. What would a private company be willing to pay for the exclusive right to export all wheat and barley from Western Canada, and as well be the only supplier to domestic flour mills and maltsters, and in addition have a supply of the cheapest money that is available in Canada to finance your operations? I'm not going to put a figure on that, I just want you to think about that. Because this is what farmers now have, and what is being taken away without any analysis or any thought of compensation. Finally, I want to reemphasize the importance of voting in this plebiscite, as it may be your only chance to have a direct say in the future of your operation. It is important not only to send a strong message to government as to what farmers want for the future, but also as a message to your board and the 10 directors which you elect that sit on it. If the answer is no in either wheat or barley, your board of directors is going to let those changes be made on that particular grain unopposed. But if the answer is yes to either wheat or barley, your board intends to do all that it can with it in its power and use every available resource at its disposal to ensure that that single desk advantage is retained for you as farmers. Tell you whatever the results are on September 10th, I intend to abide by those results and respect the wishes of farmers. And I'm calling on this government, and especially Minister Ritz, to do just exactly the same. This plebiscite is how democracy was meant to function. One quote as I finish. In the words of Benjamin Franklin, we all need to hang together on this issue, because if we don't, we will surely all hang separately.